G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today, as you can see in front of me, we are talking about camshaft kits. So we're going to go through everything we offer from LS1 all the way up to LS3. We're going to run through what your options are, what packages we offer, and what's going to suit your combination. So jumping right into it, in front of me, this is sort of your basic essentials to all our camshaft packages, whether it's DOD, non-DOD, LS1 or LS2. So as you can see, we've got the camshaft itself. This one specifically is the VCM 825. We got a set of Manly push rods, full timing chain set. So we offer the full billet set in single or double row, or we offer just the top gear itself, whatever your preference is. And we have ARP, balancer or crank bolt, whatever you'd like to call it, and camshaft bolts. All of these items are in every camshaft package we offer, whether it's online or over the phone. Where we jump into some options is the valve spring section. So as you can see in front of me, I've got a set of Manly dual springs and a set of Mellings dual springs, which is fairly recent to our range of springs. We also have a set of PSI single springs. Last package just went out the door today, so I don't have a package to show you, but we do also have those as well. So 3 different options in the valve spring section. We're going to dive into what's going to suit your combination. One thing we get asked quite a bit online and over the phone is what valve spring to choose. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 different options, 2 dual springs and a single spring. Now, some people get a little confused. I'm not quite sure what to go for, so we're going to run through the pros. There's not really cons to any of them. The general answer is any of the 3 sets is going to work for your application. All 3 sets of springs are compatible with all our camshafts off the shelf. So there isn't a certain spring you have to use with a certain cam. You can use any spring you like from our range. So in regards to what's going to suit what combination, as I mentioned, you can't go wrong with any of them. However, if you are building a skid car or burnout car, a drag car, something you're potentially going to be hanging off the limiter a little bit or giving it a bit of a hard time, we would generally recommend the dual spring. Now, reason being, in the name, there's 2 springs, so that if there is a failure of the inner or outer spring, you have some sort of insurance that you're not going to drop a valve. Now, in saying that, knock on wood, I haven't seen any of these springs break in my time here, so the likelihood of that happening is pretty low, but still, that's typically what we recommend. On the other side of the equation, the single spring is also good for any camshaft in any application. We've used them in drag cars, we've used them in race cars, we've used them in burnout cars and never had problems. It's a bit of information, but the generic answer is any of the 3 is going to work for you. On the general rule, race car, burnout car, dual spring, daily sort of driver, street car, I'd go for the single. Another super common question when it comes to camshaft packages, we get on the phone quite a bit, is what pushrod length to run. In all our kits, we offer the Manly 7400, which is going to suit any vehicle with factory heads and any one of our camshafts. So if your heads haven't been decked at all, this would be the length you go for. Now, where it gets tricky is, obviously these cars are getting a bit old now. Sometimes we don't quite know the history of the vehicle, so your heads may have been decked already. So it is good practice if you're fitting the camshaft kit yourself, to check pushrod length. So if you're getting an engine builder to build your engine, naturally they're going to do this anyway, so you don't have to worry. But if you're doing it yourself at home, it is a good idea to look up some guides on how to check pushrod length and check that out before you install everything and start your car. That is absolutely crucial. If your pushrod length is incorrect, you are going to damage quite a few things. We offer 7400s, 7375s, 7350s. We have quite an extensive range of push rods. So if your heads are being decked and you know the amount, you can try and work out what you're going to need. But again, it is good practice just to be safe, double check your pushrod length when you're installing your kit, because if you don't, you are going to have some pretty catastrophic failures. Like I said, 7400s come in all our online kits, but if you are looking for different length, you can give us a call or even jump online and purchase them. I'm going to reiterate again, check your pushrod length before you start your car, or else you're going to run into trouble. It's a really important thing I mentioned. We do get asked quite a bit. It's just hard for us to answer. We don't know your car. We don't know the history of the car. It's hard for us to recommend the absolute correct pushrod length unless it is a stock car. All our calculations and kits are built off stock engines. So stock heads, stock bottom end. With our camshafts, 7400 is going to suit. Anything that's extensively modified with different heads and stuff like that and pistons, you're best to double check before you go starting it up. So moving on to our next package in front of me is the VEVF DOD kit. So it comes with everything I mentioned previously. So your base camshaft kit plus your springs of choice, And it also comes with some extras. So this is obviously to delete the displacement on demand that's in the VE, VF vehicles. As you can see in front of me, we have a set of head gaskets, a full set of lifters, LS7, so a heavy duty LS7 style lifter, much better than what's in the car from factory. We have a fresh set of lifter buckets, as well as head bolts, and most important of all is the VCM DOD Delete plate. So this is a billet aluminium plate. It removes the factory AFM valley plate that's in your vehicle and replaces it with a non-DOD styles. As I mentioned, everything in a base camshaft kit, plus all these extras here to delete the DOD from your VE or VF. Moving on from the camshaft packages, we have in front of me what is called a lifter kit. Now, pretty self-explanatory, it's in the name. This is everything required to replace the lifters in your LS. So we offer this for LS1, LS2, LS3, and LSA. So the whole Gen 3, Gen 4 range. As you can see in front of me, we have a set of head gaskets, same thing, all the way from LS1 up to LSA. They are a genuine multi-layer steel gasket. We have a full set of LS7 lifters, so genuine GM LS7 heavy duty lifter, as well as lifter buckets to suit. Now, where your options come in for this kit is in the head bolt range. We have factory head bolts from LS1 right through to LSA, or we offer the full ARP range. So that includes ARP head bolts or ARP head studs. So when you are purchasing online, obviously select what you want from the drop-down box. And if you're on the phone, let one of the boys know what you're after and we will cater to suit. As I mentioned, this is everything you need to do a lifter swap in your car. If you've fit a camshaft previously, or you just want to go and replace your lifters, this is the kit you grab. So moving on from the camshaft kits and the lifter kits now, we're going to jump into some optional or recommended extras. Let's say you've added everything to your cart, you need to do the swap. This is a case of while you're there, do you want to do these things while the car's apart? We will jump straight into sort of the more important ones in my opinion. First off the bat is the oil pump. Particularly if you are doing a DOD delete, we heavily recommend you replace the pump. The way I normally sort of explain it to people is the last thing you want to do is do a camshaft swap, do a lifter swap. You know, 1,000 Ks down the road, the oil pump fails and all the parts you've just bought, in some cases, are going to end up in the bin. It's one of those cases, you're going to have the timing cover off to take out the camshaft. You may as well, while you're there, spend a little bit extra money and grab a brand new oil pump. In this case, we offer the Mellings range. We have plenty of different options, high volume, high pressure, standard, LSA, and even DOD pumps as well. Heavily recommend swapping out your pump while you're there. So that's the first one off the bat. The second one is the trunnion upgrade. In this section, we offer two. So we have the CHE Precision Kit, one of the nicer kits out there for sure. Super easy to fit. This replaces the factory trunnion bearing in your rocker arms. Heavily recommend this as well, particularly if you are going to be driving a hard burnout car, skid car, race car, whatever the case may be. The trunnion upgrade is definitely a good idea. So we've got two options there, as I mentioned, the CHE, and we also have the Smiths Brothers Racing as well. Either one of those is going to be a definite upgrade over your factory. Now, recommendation, we normally go with the CHE. If you're looking for a slightly cheaper option, the quality is still good. Smiths Brothers is very good as well. Trunnion upgrade, oil pumps, they're kind of the two go-to upgrades if you're looking to do it while your car is apart. Sticking with the improved racing range now, we have the sump baffle. If you're doing a cam swap, particularly if you're doing an oil pump swap as well, you're probably going to have your sump off. This is a great time to pick up one of the improved racing sump baffles. This keeps all your oil, as you can see, around the center of the pickup. Same thing, burnout car, race car, drag car, this is almost a must. The last thing you want is a bit of oil starvation, and same thing, all those pretty parts you've just put in your engine, probably going to end up in the bin. That is a very important upgrade. We offer that from VT all the way up to VF, so the whole Commodore range. Sticking with improved again, we have a pickup brace and a barbell. The pickup brace goes on the pickup tube, so all factory LS's only have one bolt and flange on the pickup. All this does is puts the pickup on the other side. Really good for supercharged or turbo cars, but same thing, burnout cars, race cars. It's a really good, cheap sort of bit of insurance. If you've pulled your sump off, pulled your timing cover off, pick up one of these, put it on, you don't have to worry again. That's a really good option and a cheap one too. The other one is the barbell. This is a super common, super popular item. The factory barbell in your LS is plastic. If you've got an LS1, it's well over 20 years old. That plastic's pretty brittle now. It's probably letting a lot of oil pass. This is a dual O-ringed aluminium replacement. You're gonna put this in, you're probably never gonna have to worry about it again. Same thing, a good cheap option to do while you're there. Moving on to some gaskets now. On my left, on your right, we have the timing cover gasket kit. If you're doing the camshaft swap, you're pulling the timing cover off, it's a good time to replace the gasket. These leak all the time, so while you're there, you may as well replace it. The benefit of this kit comes with the timing cover gasket, crank seal. It also comes with water pump gaskets as well. So you're pulling your water pump off, you're pulling your timing cover off, you may as well replace it while you're there. So it also comes with a pickup O-ring, which is handy. Moving to this side now, rocker cover gaskets, same thing. If you've got an LS, you know they leak, why not replace it while you're there? You're gonna be pulling the rocker covers off to do the camshaft swap, so good chance to grab some fresh ones and put them in. The last option is the sump gasket. So same thing as I mentioned before, if you're doing a camshaft swap, particularly if you're doing an oil pump, you're probably pulling the sump off. If it's an old car, LS1, even VEs now, they're getting pretty old. It's probably not a bad idea to pull the sump off, take a look, make sure everything's all right. Same thing, you've got the sump off, replace the sump gasket. If you've got an LS, you know they leak, now's a good time to replace it and you don't have to worry about it for a little bit. This is all our sort of optional recommended extras when doing a camshaft kit. If you have the budget, if you have the time, they're not necessary, but you may as well do it while you're there.